Hey y'all, welcome. This is Finish That Thing, and today I want to talk to you about something that I think you already know, but maybe you have not said it out loud yet. So you keep restarting, not because you're lazy or not because you don't have any good ideas, but maybe it's because between the starting and the finishing, the system kind of breaks down, and without a system, you default to starting over. So that's what this is about. In the next maybe 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why the starting over keeps happening and give you one tool to stop it and show you exactly what it looks like in practice. You ready? Let's go. So look at these four things on the screen and tell me if any of them are familiar to you and your AI journey. They're familiar to me. So too many loops, too many open loops. You have five things going at once and none of them are done. Starting from scratch every time. Every time you sit down and work on something, it feels like day one. There is no momentum, there's no context. It's just a blank screen energy, okay? And then you keep losing good prompts. You had a great AI conversation maybe 2 weeks ago, could have been 2 days ago, and the prompt you used actually worked, but now you can't find it. So you start over. And then your projects just keep feeling bigger and bigger the longer you wait. The thing you were going to do yesterday or over the weekend is now this whole production in your head, and you don't even know where to begin anymore. Does anybody ever feel like that? Because I feel like that. If any of this sounds familiar, just keep watching because this is exactly what we are going to fix. All right, so here's the shift. So the problem with how people use chat is this. They open their chat, their Claude, whatever it is, they type whatever is in their head, and they get something back, close the tab, and then never see that conversation again. So that is not a system. That's just the basic way or version of talking to yourself. Okay. So before you type anything into AI, there are three questions that you should be asking yourself first. I call this the warm up, and it takes about maybe 60 seconds. So, question one, what do I actually want? Not the topic, not the general idea, the specific thing at the end. What outcome do I want? What does done look like for me? Question two, who needs to show up in this conversation? Is it you bringing your expertise? Is it, the AI playing a specific role? Or is it both? Who is in the room that determines what comes out, right? And then question three, what does 85% look like? It's not perfect, not complete, it's just 85%. And the last 15% is yours. So AI will give you the 85%. And then the last 15%, it's your voice, it's your judgment, it's your expertise. AI just handles the structure. You bring the thing that cannot be automated, okay? So right now, I want you to think of one thing that you've been putting off, one specific thing, and hold that in your head because I'm going to walk you through just a brief example of how you can start with a very basic prompt in chat or Claude and then turn that prompt into a system that will give you your 85% plus the 15% that's you. Okay. All right. So this is me sitting down at my computer. And this is the example that I'm going to type into ChatGPT. I'm going to say, write me some social media posts about my business, which is extremely generic, extremely cold. Ends up doing is it just guesses. It doesn't really give you anything that's tailored to you. And so I came up with a framework system, whatever you want to call it, to help the output become more effective and more complete. It's called Our Tacos. I named it after tacos because you don't forget about tacos. Anytime something is connected to food, you usually don't forget about it. So you can pronounce it as our tacos, but it's our tacos. So the first thing you're going to write is the role that AI is playing in this scenario. And for this particular prompt, we're saying that AI is a brand strategist for solopreneurs. We want the chat to write 3 Instagram captions for a course launch. That's the task. And the audience that we're aiming this at is women 35 and older who are building something on the side. And the context behind that is they're launching a new digital course for the first time. Now, the output that we want from chat is 3 captions that are under 150 characters each, because again, this is for social media and you can't have more than 150 characters or, it won't fit. And now the last thing is, what are the specifics? What are the things that we don't want to see? So we don't want to see any hype. We don't want any buzzwords. We don't want any unlock your potential, because that is all AI jargon. We don't want any of that. So if you put in exactly this, you should get out a prompt that's 85% of what you want. Then you can continue to give like one-off prompts to get you your 15% there to reach 100%. And that's basically it. But hold up, there's more, because most people, they tend to stop here and they still don't finish. Why is that? I really couldn't tell you, but if I had to guess, I think the truth of the matter is that you can learn everything I just showed you and still not finish a thing. And I know this is true for me because I've bought courses, I've bought digital products, I've learned how to do things, and still not accomplish the thing that I wanted to accomplish. Not because the framework doesn't work, but because knowing something and having a system to use it consistently are 2 different things. One is just basic information, but the other is infrastructure. And there's a gap. And that is exactly what Finish That Thing is for. Finish That Thing is a full system where, we walk you step by step through finishing a one-word project using everything I just showed you and then some. And you end up leaving with a reusable workflow that you can run every single time you have a task that you want to complete. And it's not a one-time prompt, but it's a system that you can keep and use over and over and over again for different tasks. And if you would like to gain access to this system, the link is in the description. I'll see you there. I hope this helps. See you later. Bye.